All right, welcome back to season 2 of our show. It's Southern dressing. Let's show you how to get it on. So in the South, we make a beautiful dressing. It's Southern dressing, and we're using cornbread here. So what I like to do is use cornbread that I've had already. I cook it the day before, and it makes things a whole lot easier, and I just like how it just flakes up, just like that. I got some breadcrumbs here, nothing special, just regular breadcrumbs. Find the cheapest ones you can buy. I put in a little salt, oregano, garlic powder in here, and that's about it. Now, I did a video on how to make a beautiful stock. We got some giblets over here, so what we'll do is we're going to do a giblet stock today, and we're going to throw in some giblets and some turkey. I think I'm going to use all the turkey in here. And maybe I'll just put a bunch of giblets in here too. And the rest we'll save for our gravy. So here it is. Now, I separated the stocks. I kept a plain stock with nothing in it, if you watched that video. And I kept one with the vegetables in here. So we're using one with the veggies in here today because we're making a dressing. We're going to watch our wetness in here. This goes great with basically any meal. Most people wait till Thanksgiving to make a dressing, but why? If you're making cornbread throughout the year, make a beautiful dressing to go along with it. Can't go wrong. So just keep turning it. You're going to just keep going until it gets nice and wet. Not very, very wet, but somewhat wet. Because if you go too wet, it's going to be very pasty. And you don't want to do that because you're going to have add more things. So we're just going to keep going until we get that right consistency. Now the reason why we had the stock going in here is because it's going to add a lot of flavor. We added things into the stock. We got turkey, gizzards, and the cornbread's got flavor in here as well too. Plenty of butter in the cornbread, so now we're kind of getting to where we're looking good. It's still a little bit dry for my taste, so we're going to go with some more stock. Make sure you don't go over because you won't get it back. At this point, once it becomes wet, it's going to get real wet. All right, just keep turning and looking at your consistency on here. Just like that. Now some people like a very wet dressing. I kind of like mine right in the middle. I don't like it too wet and I don't like it too dry. It's got to be that perfect consistency in there. Also too, if you get it real wet, it almost will never dry out on you. So I think I'm going to go with a couple of more. Try to get more of the vegetables in here than the stock. And I try to clear out my veggies in here. This way you got all those nice carrots. And that's going to keep it moist too. Carrots, celery, onions. It's going to add a load of flavor. And it's going to keep it nice and moist. Let's just give that a stir. And that is where I think I want this. The point where you can almost form it like that, where it's sticking together. It's getting very hard to move. And that's it. So what we'll do from here is we'll start to get this into a cast iron. Now, I'm not going to grease this cast iron because I've already had this nicely oiled. It's well seasoned, and it's oily already. And I'm just going to put this right in here, and I want almost like a crust on the bottom of here. That's why when it's baking, I have that crust on there. We're going to put this out onto the grill, let it bake at 350. Get some nice grill flavor in there. So we're going to move this over like this. Just slide that over. And we're going to start putting this in our pan. Just like that. You know, this has been made in Southern families for just years. So it's a long tradition of having dressing for Thanksgiving. Now there's a big difference. You go up north, and up north people consider stuffing, just regular breadcrumbs, as dressing. Or stuffing, they call it. They stuff the bird with it. And it's just basically just breadcrumbs and butter. And if you look at stovetop stuffing, that's all that's in there. It's just a bunch of bread. So roll out the cornbread and the gizzards and the giblets and all that stuff in here. And it's just a southern way of making dressing. So that's the big difference between a southern dressing and a northern stuffing. Alright, so we're almost there. I'm just going to pack this out to the top. Either way, whether you're making stuffing or dressing, either way, you need this to go along with a bird. But this one's like a full-blown meal with everything in here. You can have this just by itself. You won't even need the cornbread on the side because it's in here. So that's the beauty about this one. I love them both. I never met a stuffing or a cornbread I didn't like. All right, here's the rest of it. Now what I'll do is I'm not going to pack it down because I want it to cook very light and fluffy. I want it to be mushed down. And there you have it. So 350 degrees onto the grill it goes, and we're going to cook this for about a half hour to 45 minutes depending on how that grill cooks. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, so we got this grill cranking right now at 400. And I'm compensating because we left the door open. And that's it. So what we'll do is we'll leave this on here about a half hour, 45 minutes. That's it. She's done. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Our dressing's done. Let's see what we got. There it is. Look at that. That's the way you want it. You don't want it too dark. And you want to be able to just touch the top and have it nice and crispy a little bit, you know? Almost like if you were going to stuff clams. It's the same thing. It's nice and hard on top, but it's soft in the middle, moist. And that's how you want it. So we're going to pull this. We'll meet you inside. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right. Our southern dressing is done. Let's see what we got. So look at that. Like I said, it's nice and crispy. You can hear that with the spoon. That's how you want it. Well, let's just cut into this. Let's get a little piece out over here. And you can see how it's just not dense. It's light, nice and fluffy, and it's real hot. You can see that steam just coming off of there. All right, and let's see if I can get a gibbling out there. A little gibbling over there. All right, let's give this a shot. See how this is. Excellent. Nice and light. It's not heavy at all. It's not bogged down with a bunch of things like meats and just weighing it down. It's still light and fluffy. If you like this video, more videos are about to come, please hit that like button. Subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell. This way you get notifications first. Thank you. We enjoyed having you. Look for this video and the bigger video for Thanksgiving dinner. Until next time, gotta get that Pitmaster taste again.